Hey guys, Dev with crimehive.com, and this is going to be the last video on the affidavit. There's a lot of information. We're still kind of going through the overview of this case and the information that was gathered by investigators. So, continuing on here, what we're looking at here now is investigators had looked through search term items from Letitia's phone, and they found some interesting search items like what is the process for our runaway child, police steps for our runaway, police steps for our missing child. And then again, the other mentions, the other words that I mentioned, can Nintendo find my Switch? CarNet Volkswagen. Um, little searches like that that really uh, put investigators on high alert with Letitia. Now, uh, they found that she had deleted this information from her phone. It was deleted. They were still able to recover that internet search history. So again, really difficult to cover this kind of stuff up with the way technology is nowadays. And that's the kind of stuff we're going to talk about, though, more in depth with the next few videos coming up. So next we see, they seized the Volkswagen. What's crazy is they actually put a tracking device on it. So what you started seeing in this affidavit is they actually put trackers on the vehicle. They wiretapped her phones, or email. They basically just have access to all of her communication methods, and that's what they start utilizing as you go through. They recovered a computer chip from the vehicle. There's just so much data, you guys, that can be used in solving crime, and it's interesting how it's evolved. You know, from the times when you had the old school serial killers, which we're going to talk about in other videos, and this kind of information just wasn't available. We're going to talk about genealogy, utilizing those kind of tools, how that helps law enforcement track cold cases. So there's going to be a lot of fun stuff here. And I'd love your guys' thoughts and comments on what you guys would like me to talk about next. But as we're going through this here, this is pretty much the end. There's a lot of a lot of the same information. They got to be very detailed in the reports, obviously. Uh, a lot of, talking about the wiretap interceptions. This was one interesting thing I did want to point out that I thought you guys would find interesting. Uh, they determined that Letitia attempted to obtain fake polygraph results. Didn't even know this was a thing. But apparently, if you go to fakepolygraph.com, matter of fact, we'll just go over there real quick. This right here helps you basically submit your own questions and answers because you create your own truth. And what's crazy about this is they'll submit you a report. It looks authentic. Uh, that shows that you took a there's a verified report that you took this polygraph test. Now, what's crazy about this is these tests are primarily for, if there's like husband and wife problems, friends and family issues, disagreements. You're seeing here all these little things. Not a murder case. So when Letitia tries to do this and submits the information, I believe the company was on high alert and they just wouldn't submit the data because they believed it was a criminal type of case. So, here's why this is interesting: is you go back here in the affidavit, and you're seeing here that she's basically talking to their customer service at fakepolygraph.com, and she says, she didn't get her information. She didn't get the results back to her. So she says, what do you do now? Just delete it and go on about life and keep the money? And the guy says, yes, we do indeed. And she's like, okay, I got you. Thank you. Goodbye. And so it's just interesting that she went through these extreme measures to try to cover this up, and just failed miserably, you guys. So I want to know your guys' thoughts on that. I thought that was pretty hilarious with a fake polygraph. And that basically concludes this. One other thing I just want to point out on here, though, was they were trying to find Gannon, who was missing. Just so you guys know, again, he was ultimately found in Florida in a suitcase. And some of that information, I believe, is redacted right now. There may be an updated affidavit. We get more information on that aspect of it. But he was located. But while they were trying to find him, they were using aerial assets, infrared, FLIR, which is really cool technology, detecting heat, and uh, we're going to talk about that in another video as well. If you guys are interested in learning about FLIR and those law enforcement tools, and that's basically it on the affidavit. So that's a good little overview. We're going to go more in detail on some of these other aspects in the case, and I'd like to know your guys' thoughts, what you'd specifically like me to talk about. You can comment below. Again, I'm using Loom right now. I could go back and I'm going to post these on YouTube, but I'd like to know your guys' thoughts, and if you guys enjoyed this content, subscribe, like my stuff, and we'll connect on the social networks, and look forward to interacting with you guys, all of you guys out there, all you other true crime fans. So thanks again. This is Dev with Crime Hive, and we'll chat with you guys soon.